Rural America. From it springs so much of what we value as a people. Our natural resources, and many of our cultural traditions, and core values. Rural communities can draw upon broad and deep assets that have enriched us all. Yet many rural communities face daunting challenges to their health and vitality, and have yet to feel the uplift our economy has generated elsewhere.
We just kind of see RCCI as a catalyst for change, and a lot of people are catching the spirit.
The people of RCCI, the Rural Community College Initiative, believe in rural America. The RCCI is a network of rural community college leadership teams committed to honest self-assessment and the highest goals and expectations for students, for the college itself, above all, for the community. Our goal is to build the region's economies and increase educational opportunity for everyone. RCCI is committed to economic development and improved access to education, inextricably linked to equity and excellence. The following program is part of a video and print toolkit series designed to communicate the mission and the method of RCCI, using community colleges to transform rural economies and the prospects of their people.
It's been good for me to know that I have the independence and be able to have some creativity. I've been able to send my oldest son to Montessori school, pay for it with the money I'm making baskets. It's an empowering thing.
Starting a new business is as common today as getting married or having children. Some 7 million households are involved in startup businesses, making small business the fastest growing sector of the American economy. Yet the journey from starting a business to running and expanding it is filled with many challenges. More than half of all startups fail within 5 years, consuming valuable resources and creating much grief. Improving the success rate of entrepreneurs is one of the major goals of small business development centers throughout the United States. Organized and funded in a variety of ways, most small business centers provide low or no-cost expert consulting services, training in proven management fundamentals, and assistance in writing business plans. Community colleges often play key roles in developing and running small business centers, particularly in rural areas. And while most centers provide important training and instruction to their clients, they frequently lack knowledge of and access to sources of capital.
Small business center people need to be aware of all lending sources around them, to do partnerships, not specifically with dollars or lendings, but just to know who your allies are, to know who to call when that person walks in their office and say, I've got a business plan, I've got a great idea, where can I go get financing? It could be to a bank, it could be to the credit union. Any one of those sources can help. If you just make one referral to one person, the others will know where to refer them to.
And yet community colleges often lack the institutional mission that makes this kind of networking possible.
Every state has a small business development center. And rural colleges, community colleges, and four-year institutions are active participants typically. Oftentimes, however, the economic development activity at the college is separated from the mainline mission of the campus. And part of what I try to preach is that it needs to be incorporated as a primary part of the mission, that it's education and economic development and entrepreneurship. You link those three together for the future of your region.
To help forge those links, community colleges must plan their small business programs with a special set of circumstances in mind. For while many things can be done to get a business going, little is known about which things are the most critical and the order in which they should be done. The process varies from place to place and from industry to industry. Located in the rolling hills of eastern Kentucky, Hazard Community College is helping create a diversified economy from the region's coal mining past. For the past 10 years, the college's Business and Industry Technical Assistance Center, or BITAC as it's called, has focused on job creation through entrepreneurial training programs. Former BITAC administrator Charlie Simpson.
Through the BITAC Center, we work with 50 to 60 business startups in any given year through either consulting services or entrepreneurial training. The entrepreneurial training program is a 6-month training program that takes an individual through business startup activities. It includes development of a business plan, financials, and the total implementation of that business at the end of the class. The class is a hands-on, nuts and bolts kind of training program. It doesn't deal with theory, but actual how to start a business. Our clients run the entire gamut between a one-person operation up to companies that employ well over 100 people. They run anywhere from a service-type business, maybe such as dog grooming, through manufacturing operations. We also have worked with a lot of retail and service startups.
BITAC does more than teach entrepreneurship, however. It acts as a clearinghouse for information on partnership development.
It's the fundamental principle behind BITAC, and it says that we're going to partner with anybody and everybody out there that has anything potentially important for our clients to know about or to be able to use.
Appalachian Regional Manufacturing started about 5 years ago. 2 former IBMers who had a dream that they dreamed for a number of years. They came to the BITAC Center to seek our input into the product, and here we are today, 5 years later at their headquarters. I think that Appalachian Regional Manufacturing is an excellent example of grassroots economic development. It's something that any community can work with if they find a partner, a private partner like the investors and owners of Appalachian Regional Manufacturing.
Partnering is also important in nearby Cumberland, Kentucky, the site of Southeast Community College. Working in collaboration with both the college and the area's financial institutions, the Pine Mountain Community Development Corporation is providing the region's residents with greater access to business capital.
One of the detriments to economic development in this area has been the unavailability of capital. Banks wanted to tie the entrepreneur to personal guarantees and a large number of co-signers, and it discouraged businesses from starting up. Our venture capital funds will have a lot easier access. One of the funds is a revolving loan fund with the Cumberland Valley Area Development District. We'll work with them to do pre-screening and assist in the applications and business plans, and hopefully that money can be generated within 30 days from the time of application. We have another fund called the Community Reinvestment Fund, in which area financial institutions will invest capital. It'll be seed money or venture capital for business startups. They understand going in that it's high risk, but we'll make the access much easier for local businesses.
The people of this region have to be able to create their own wealth in this region that stays in this region, so that in the future the land and the businesses are not owned by people who are outside this region, but are owned by people in the region, and the wealth is created here and stays here.
Crafts have become, over the years, a very, very sophisticated business. And unless one has the understanding of that, one does not succeed just by being a good craftsperson.
Located in the mountains of western North Carolina, in a region recognized for its strong craft heritage, Haywood Community College has developed a professional crafts program that provides students with small business and entrepreneurship training.
So When this program first started, back over 20 years ago now, it was very, very unusual in that it was, as far as I know, the first place in the country that was dealing directly with business and marketing as tools for craftspeople.
In fact, most people in the community saw the value of crafts from more an interest point of view, but not a vocational point of view. In fact, very few young people were actually getting involved in the crafts movement. There wasn't this passing of the heritage of crafts from one family member to the other any longer. So when we started this program, the idea was that we were going to continue those mountain crafts, but we also wanted to equip people to go out and earn a living in doing that.
And so many people come into this field because they like making the craft and never thinking through how they're going to market it, how they're going to sell it, how they're going to keep track of whether they're earning money or not.
And so the curriculum was started with that idea in mind. The problem was that none of the instructors who were in this program had ever had any business training either. There really wasn't any background information. There was very little written information. There were craftspeople who were out there earning incomes, but they had done it by a totally trial and error method. And unfortunately, there were more errors than there were successes in their business experience.
To help it design a small business curriculum for crafters, the school turned to REAL Enterprises.
REAL is an acronym that stands for Rural Entrepreneurship Through Action Learning. Here in North Carolina, REAL is a nonprofit organization that runs out of Durham. We basically partner with community colleges and high schools to put on an experiential course of study in entrepreneurship, where students are learning entrepreneurship by taking their ideas, learning about their community, and basically developing business plans around business ideas that they're interested in and integrating those businesses into the local communities.
REAL paid for a consultant to come here and work with the instructors who are still teaching in this program to develop a curriculum concept. And REAL didn't write that curriculum for us. They simply gave us the tools, the help, the feedback, and we wrote it ourselves. It wasn't an idea of running a general business that everybody tried to fit into, but it was the idea of taking a student's own business idea and have them to develop that idea in a way that they could understand and relate to it. In other words, them having a personal ownership in that process. An example of that is Brad Dodson, who came here from his own family business.
I do figurines. I started doing figurines or gnomes when I was about 12 years old. It's just a enjoyment I have. I don't feel like I'm working. I'm having fun.
Brad came to the program with a fair amount of experience through a family business. His family has a pottery business, but he came here not really knowing a lot about the business part of the process. But the other reason that he came here was that he realized that at some point in time he was going to be taking over the family business. He was going to be the manager, he was going to be the operator, the marketer, all of those things. And so he felt that this program would offer him those kinds of experiences.
The program offers studio planning, and then you have marketing, and then you have business planning. In my family, I learned a lot of the basic skills in throwing and making items, but I lacked a lot of the technical skills, how to build a kiln, how to operate a business, how to understand marketing and business planning. And it was my goal to go to Haywood and achieve that. By the time you finish, you have a basic understanding of what it takes to start a business, to go and find financial backing or support, to approach a bank with a business plan.
And Brad is going to be opening his own business that's separate from where his father's outlet is. He is currently in the process of remodeling a house that he has purchased that is going to be refitted into not only a workshop where he'll be making his pottery, but also where he will be selling it.
Half of it will be a gallery, and the other half will be the studio. If you go outside, behind or beside the building is the kiln shed. It's a metal building I've had constructed to house the electric kilns and the large gas kiln.
And he and I have talked a great deal about this process. We've sort of lived and breathed it the past year. We've sweated over it. We've smiled about it. We've been enthusiastic. We've been depressed. We've been all of those things together. But I think the greatest thing is that we're now very close to seeing the realization of what he wanted when he first came to the program here.
I'll offer tourists, people traveling, the opportunity to stop, watch me work, and I don't have to leave my work. I can continue working and speak to these people, tell them what I'm doing, and give them an opportunity to see the craftsmen at work. And then if they want to, they could shop and buy some of the work they're seeing made here. And it's all made right here.
People who are professional craftspeople out there look at what we're doing and they just say, we wish we had had this when we started. Yeah, because they didn't. They had to learn by the hard knocks. They're budding entrepreneurs, and what kinds of skills do they need to succeed? And it's not just making a beautiful weaving, it's how are you going to reach your customers, what are your customers' needs?
What this has evolved into is the fact that now a business teacher and a group of craft instructors are working together for planning and also for teaching, and so also for follow-up and feedback to the students. And I think that that's the arrangement that we envision that this program working best, that a business teacher can't know all of those things, and in this case, craft instructors can't know all of the business side.
Prior to REAL, if you talked about business to a number of the craft students, they felt like that they were in art and crafts because they wanted to escape the business world and that nothing in business applied to them. Immediately those attitudes changed. They began to see the relevance to business training as it applied to their particular career goals.
There's things that I don't want to do that I have to do to make it work, but I got to deal with paying a whole bunch of taxes and making sure that I can make the loan payment, but that's okay. I get to make pots. I get to make things I want to make.